Let me be succinct. We stand united in our response to the Trump administration's extreme actions in Los Angeles.
Of course, we know about the detractors from the black community who are okay with the ICE raids. They are pissed off and they are saying, listen, get them out of here. And if you really want me to be specific, I'll tell you the group that they're probably most excited about being deported. Those coming from the Hispanic community. The reason why is because of previous tensions between Black Americans and Hispanics, especially in places like Southern California, where Hispanics have moved into black neighborhoods, and sometimes there has been violence. So when the Hispanics are being taken out of America, if they're here illegally, Black Americans are excited about it. But these are just a certain group of Black Americans. Not all Black Americans are happy with ICE raids. Even in black cities like Detroit, with a population of over 80% Black American, you will still get people who are helping immigrants hide away from ICE raids.
People all across the country have been responding to the kidnappings, because that's what they are, of individuals by ICE. Their neighborhood being surrounded by officers with assault rifles.
Now, this particular brother says something very interesting. He says, listen, these people are literally being kidnapped. People are coming in with guns in their neighborhoods. One thing he is not realizing, these people are there illegally. And that's the thing. What I've noticed is a lot of people don't like Donald Trump or his policies. And to be frank, Donald Trump has been disappointing to me also, but I couldn't let my hatred for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris be the reasons why I would want to get in front of ICE raids, especially when I don't think I would benefit from it. I mean, I'm living in Uganda, and if somebody comes and takes me away, there's nobody gonna say, brother, no, take me instead. You're wrong for taking that man away. It is not right. It's not gonna happen, bro. But just like him, he's a person that doesn't have a lot of power. But what I've noticed is something interesting. The people who are supporting illegal migrants the most are not people on TikTok, regular citizens. These are people who effect policy, and they are going against the norm of what many in Black America desire. And if you look at the foundation of these are organizations that were started to help Blacks. I want to give a shout out to the Black Patriarch, okay? The Black Patriarch put this on Twitter the other day. He says this: during the Latino riots last month, Black leaders decided to come out in support of the Latino community, proving once again that their loyalty lies with immigrants, not with us. Shaking my head. Now, I wanted to check this video out and to see if it's true. And what did I find?
Let me be succinct. We stand united in our response to the Trump administration's extreme actions in Los Angeles. These actions are a direct assault on civil rights and democratic norms, and elevate the urgent need for us to stand up and defend communities, particularly Black and brown communities, from unconstitutional overreach.
Now, this is Mark Morial, the current president of the National Urban League, the former mayor of New Orleans. In fact, he was the youngest mayor in the city's history. At the time, he's probably the youngest Black American mayor in the country, and a guy who is a part of an organization, which is the National Urban League, which was started to help Black people. In fact, it was called the National League on Urban Conditions amongst Negroes. What? Yes, amongst Negroes. He's now talking about Black and brown situations. Huh? Isn't that interesting? How can the National Urban League, which should be started for Black Americans, and it was started that way in the early 1900s, 1910 to be exact, we're now changing that to Black and brown. So we're sticking up for immigrants that are illegal, right? But wait, there's more.
I wanted to be on to not only underscore and emphasize the solidarity of National Action Network, but to say this is a human rights issue.
That's the legendary Reverend Al Sharpton, the king of the perm. And what is Al Sharpton saying? Oh, the deportations are a human rights issue. Well, what's a human rights issue? Being illegal in a country that you should not be in? or if that illegal goes around committing crimes or basically killing somebody or robbing somebody. Is it a human rights issue? You're correct. It is a human rights issue to the people being affected by the illegal being in their country, but you just got it on the wrong person. But this is my favorite one.
And we're all foreigners, whether we came here on slave ships or we came here across a border or on a plane and stayed too long.
Now, this lady is Melanie Campbell. She is with the National Coalition on Black Civic Participation. Now, again, all of these people are Black Americans. They're not Hispanic. And what did you just hear her say? We all foreigners. We might have came here on boats or illegally or overstayed visa.
Boy, y'all sit your stupid ass down. Who the you think you is?
The lady is conflating that blacks being brought on slavery is somehow equal or somehow the same or in the same category as somebody else who came here illegally, which means that, oh, there's a level of parity in how you got here. And imagine this is the person that leads the National Coalition on Black Civic Participation. I cannot believe this. You've got to be kidding me!
Oh my God!
But it gets worse. Rewind! Now, we've talked about the National Urban League and this National Coalition on Black Civic Participation. Well, the Professional Black Caucus, which is another group that was established to support Black Americans, at that time known as African Americans, about 40 years ago. They had 13 original members. It was actually in the 1970s, so like 50 years ago, 71. Only one of those persons were not born of Black American descent, which was Shirley Chisholm. So they had 13 and 12 of them were Black American, and many of them were first-time Black American senators, at that time known as African Americans. And this first clip is interesting because it does say something.
Specifically, since I've got members of the Congressional Black Caucus here talking about how some members of our community are feeling disconnected, saying this is not our fight. This is not something that affects us. And also how even if you're not an immigrant, this is about people who are not white.
So I feel like the prelude was set during the campaign, right? I'm from Ohio. And so during the debate, we would call the conversation, or one of the points that Trump made was that the Haitians were eating dogs and cats, right? And so that was the prelude. This cannot be just about brown people. Like, this is about Black people, because you can't look at a Haitian American and a Black American and make the distinction. Just like you were saying, someone was asking about your nationality. It's about anybody that is other than white.
So the First Lady says, basically, a lot of our people are upset and they don't want anything to do with this. Like, they're not going to stop ICE from deporting people. They're upset. It's not our fight. This lady talks about Haitians and that Haitians are somehow affected by this, and they are. But the question is, are these Haitians illegal? Which none of them are making the point that they're illegal. And then again, she's talking about brown people, okay? So she keeps bringing up brown people. And then now it's not about protecting the Black American citizens, but now this is about non-white. So everybody can be included in Black Caucus issues who are non-white. So why is it called the Professional Black Caucus then? Because now, you can't make a distinction between the Haitian person and the Black American, but it doesn't make any sense because a Black American is an American citizen and it doesn't matter if the distinction is there or not. The question is that Haitian person or whoever else illegal or not? And they keep going around that because they're lying. But the next one is even worse.
First of all, it's important to also remember that there are Black Latinos. It's not just about what country you come from, but as Chantel, Representative Brown pointed to, it's do you look like you are other? They're not distinguishing between U.S. citizens and non-citizens. They're even grabbing tourists off the street now, as we saw in New York. In Virginia, where I represent, the fastest growing immigrant populations have been from African countries.
Now that's Representative Jennifer McClain, and she's a representative in Virginia district, okay? She's also talking about Black Latinos. Now, the reality is about Black Latinos is that some identify with Black Americans and then some don't. But the question is, are they Black Latinos in being illegal? Like, I'm a Black person living in Uganda. I'm a Black American, so you can say that I'm, hashtag, the original African American. Y'all get mad when I say that. I have African ancestry. But the question is, if I lived in Uganda, would I be illegal? And the answer would be yes. So if they deported my ass, it wouldn't matter that I look like them. The question is, am I over here illegal when I'm not supposed to be? And now they're saying they're not distinguishing between us and US citizens. Oh, we saw in New York, they grabbed somebody. Okay, well, did that person get deported? No, they can't get deported because they're US citizens. So this is a fear tactic. But this last one takes the cake.
They're targeting workers in the hospitality industry, Las Vegas. He's targeting garment workers, mothers who were at their child's graduation ceremonies. He's targeting schools and hospitals through his administration. I'm a son of an immigrant mother who came to the United States with my grandmother to pursue the American dream. This is Caribbean History Month. Black people are affected by immigration policy too, whether we're African immigrants or Caribbean immigrants, and we need a policy that works for our communities. And yeah, they might be targeting certain people in certain communities today, but tomorrow they'll be targeting us.
This guy, Stephen Horsford, okay? He is a person that came to America, or his immigrant's grandmother or whatever, and he's Caribbean. And so now he's talking about they're deporting all of these workers, they're deporting these people, they're sending them back. And, now, basically this is how my grandmother came to America to pursue the American dream. This is, Caribbean History Month, and, whether we're African immigrants or Caribbean immigrants, we need a policy that works for our communities. And that's the whole point. It always is a policy that must work for you, but you're not talking about if those people are illegal. And so you want a policy that works for you. And then how does that policy help the Black American citizens that are there? It's just like me being in Uganda saying, hey, I'm here illegally. I need a policy that works for me. And the longer that I can stay here, really, I'm probably going to take an opportunity up from Uganda. So that's what it is, a Ugandan person, right? But you're not talking about if that person is there illegally. And then he has a fear tactic. Well, they might be targeting you next. It might be us. No, it won't be us because they're citizens of America. And you're only doing that so you can use a fear tactic because really the Black leadership wants to sell Black America out. Don't believe me? Look at Karen Bass in LA. Look at Eric Adams in New York. Look at Brandon Johnson in Chicago. Now, I don't know. I thought Karen Bass was Black American, but I'm sure, I don't know if she is, but I can tell you that Eric Adams and Brandon Johnson was. And when Tiffany Hanger was in Dalton, she was also. And what did you see in all of those situations? I'll tell you. What you saw were people talking about Black and brown issues and ignoring the base that got them elected. And when it came to serving their base, they were trying to simp for these immigrants and not caring about Black people. So the people who are changing the policies are the people who look like us that want to be against us. But when it comes time for the vote, they don't care. And you haven't heard anybody that's a Black Democrat, that's anybody for the most part with a big profile say, hey, these immigrants are hurting the Black community. We want to stand with the people and give them what they want. No, it's give them what somebody else wants, what's the Democratic policies. And these are the people that run urban leagues, the Professional Black Caucus. They've all been bought and paid for by somebody else, which is deferring your needs to Hispanics or any other immigrant. And now the world knows it and the world can see it. And I want to give a shout out to the Black Patriarch on Twitter or on X. He's always been a great person, researcher for the last 10 to 15 years on these issues. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.